Hey, this is Ryan Fowler here with Tide 102.9 in Tuscaloosa, out covering the San Diego Chargers and one of these three-time national champs, Damion Square. Damion, certainly a disappointing loss, but just to be able to look at the Saban process, how does that help you daily in the NFL?
I mean, he's a guy that's been coaching for many years at every level. He's had success, and he just know how to create a program around guys so that they can kind of just follow this narrow path. And if you follow that path, you'll be pretty well off. Discipline-wise, performance-wise, and just life-wise. You know what I mean? So he really puts the right people around you to keep you in line and just really show you the value of doing things the right way and how they're supposed to be done.
I was talking to an NFL coach about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he said, the one thing that you get with an Alabama guy, especially on that defensive side of the football, they come in with a lot of knowledge. And he said they know how to practice. Is that something that maybe made an easier transition for you?
Oh, well, no doubt about it. I don't think you'll practice harder than we practice in Tuscaloosa nowhere in football. You know what I mean? He just demands so much from you. I remember when I first got in the league, man, and they blew the whistle and practice was over. I was at the field and I was like, man, that's it. You know what I mean? Because I was more worried about Tuesdays going against Fluke and team run than any Saturday. You know what I mean? So that was the thing about just playing at the University of Alabama, man. Just with the guys on the other side of the ball, they prepared us well, and we went ones-on-ones. We went ones-on-ones. We had our scout team periods, but at the end of the day, to see, to get tougher throughout the week and really keep our fundamentals up. We went ones-on-ones, and that really made us better.
When you reflect and, doing a daily show in Tuscaloosa, I could say it's the greatest dynasty ever in college football history. You won 3 national titles. They've won 4 out of the last 7. I mean, they're going for 5 out of the last 8. I mean, think about that for a minute. I mean, 5 out of the last 8. And I mean, I know this guy over here beside me is sort of giving us a grin, but I mean...
He went to Cal, by the way.
So do they know anything about championships?
No comment.
Hey man,
but anyways,
but I mean, you think about it. I mean, 3. You won 3 national titles. I mean, you got more than 80% of schools in college football. I'm just saying, look at the greatest dynasty probably ever in college football history. Would you agree?
I mean, that could be it. You know what I mean? We really fell in love with performing at a high level, you know what I mean? And I think that's the thing in Tuscaloosa. A lot of guys come to win games, and, those games where I wouldn't even look up at the scoreboard, and people like, really, you didn't look at the scoreboard? I remember we was playing against Georgia, and I had no idea that we was losing a part of that game in the SEC championship because I was just so focused on, like, doing my assignment, you know what I mean? And when you got the guys, like, you got 11 guys on the field that's, future NFL players and, guys that really care about their personal performance, that's how you win games, you know what I mean? And we just, like I said, we fell in love with performing at a high level, no matter what the score was. We was never secure with what we were doing on the field, and we just came every week and did it, you know what I mean?
But you say that, and you say it with ease, but you won back-to-back national titles. This team's trying to do that right now in Tuscaloosa. But is it difficult to not try to become complacent?
Yeah, it is difficult, but like I said, just with the things that Nick places around you, you know what I mean? He constantly reminds you of errors that you make, even when you're winning. A lot of people don't go and correct things when they win. He's one of those guys, he's so critical regardless, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why those guys will really never become complacent. If they lose the game, they just lost the game, you know what I mean? It won't be because of complacency, because he will never allow them to get that way. He has a great feeling about his team and the guys in there and how the mood is, and he constantly preach to them guys and get people to come in and just get those guys mentally correct, and he'll never let complacency sneak in. Never.
LSU week. Let me ask you, looking back, and I know that you guys were able to beat them in 2011. I think they've won 5 straight.
Of course.
So, but let me ask you, this rivalry is different because it's not like Auburn. It's not like Tennessee. I think there's mutual respect in this rivalry.
It is, and it should be. Those guys you look across this league, there's some big-time players from LSU. I can't even begin to name the guys that come out of that university. You know what I mean? So they're always ready, you know, from a recruiting standpoint. They will always have the same type of guys we got, you know, some tall corners, you know, real aggressive in the interior line. And not to mention, you know, Saban was one of the guys that kind of laid the pavement, you know, in LSU for winning, you know what I mean? So from a pedigree standpoint, they're getting taught the same thing, you know, they're approaching practice the same way, you know, and at the end of the day, somebody got to go out there on Saturday and win, and I'm almost positive it'll be Alabama.
Hey, Damion, listen, for all of us in Tuscaloosa, certainly proud of your success in the NFL. It's always fun to catch up with the Alabama guys. I know it's an unfortunate loss out there, but hopefully you guys can get back on the winning side next week.
For sure, man. Roll Tide.
Absolutely. Hey, man.